right to a more restrictive placement. It is a process that we're really working towards keeping them in their resident school. The question with an emotional impairment eligibility, I think we do what most districts do is have a parent interview, student interview, observation. The two required members of an EI evaluation are a school psychologist and a school social worker. So those two individuals have strong mental health background. There are 4 criterion in order to meet that eligibility through the state of Michigan. So the tools we use may differ from district to county, but the rating scales that we use are nationally standardized.
Yeah. Thank you guys for all you do. As a parent, I can tell you I wouldn't be able to express how much it means to me and my family, the work that you guys do. So thank you.
Thank you.
Just thank you for a thorough presentation. Really how you lay everything out, and really appreciate this new organization. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Well, thank you, Ken. We didn't touch too much on it this time, but I just want to talk into the next input that we have that is excellent resource. And had that question a few times and always directed parents to that input and sort of follow up on it. Just going over it again. Reminded me of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Hey everyone, how are you? My name is Alex Scott. I am the Director of Continuous Improvement Grants and Instructional Technology here at Oxford Community Schools. I was wondering, what is the dive? I'm new to Oxford Community Schools as of November. So I've had a chance to sit here for more meetings, and I want to say I'm very excited to finally have a chance to sit up here and present some of the exciting things that we're doing and so today we're going to go ahead over 2 things, and we're going to seek approval for 2 different proposals. One is an opportunity that OCS will continue to pursue, and one is a new opportunity for the 25-26 school year that will really give us some additional flexibility around our calendar process, our mode of instruction, and our testing schedule. And those 2 things are the PB as instructional time, and then also the Oxford 21F, the emergency day plan. I'll cover both of those things, and then you get any questions and shoot them my way. I think it's important that for both of these proposals, you remember the context for both constitutes an academic year by MDE, and there are really just kind of 2 components, and that's 180 days and 10 MDE hours. You have to hit both of those in order for your academic calendar to be in compliance with MDE standards. So it's important to just keep these in mind because the 1098 and the 15-day virtual plan kind of help us get to those plans by giving us the flexibility with how we use our time. So I'll start off with our PP as instructional time. So first I want to say that this is something that Oxford has used in the past. So we're just revisiting this proposal. One, just to acknowledge that there are some new members on the board, so just kind of refresh the member of the community. But also our district-wide professional development committee has some new members involved too. So you want to get that approved as well. So I'll share those names with you on the next slide. So what is a PD as instructional time? Well, MDE allows us to use 30 hours of PD as instructional time. That provides us immense flexibility with the ability to provide support PD time for our teachers without having to worry about extending the school day either after or before school, extending the school year. We get that time back in our calendar. So it's a great tool for flexibility. In order for us to take advantage of this, we have to have a district-wide PD advisory committee. share again who we are recommending to be on that board. And also that committee is going to go ahead and recommend at least 8 hours of that PD. They've already identified 2 dates, August and November, and the topic of those PDs on that PD could be AI and education. I'm really excited for it. It's something that's kind of all the buzz right now with our teachers in the education space as well too. So I'm excited for Oxford to take that forward with AI. And for 25-26, we have 3 days that we'll take advantage of this proposal to count towards instructional time and instructional days. And that's August 19th, November 4th, and in January 2026. Now here are the names of the members on the advisory committee. So what you'll notice here is that we have a multitude of educators from K-5, 6, 8, 9, 12. We have central office employees. We also have employees who are also parents as well too, so they're able to provide suggestions around calendaring, about PD topics, both from an educator perspective, but also from a parent perspective as well too. The other names, they also have because they have an infinite knowledge of the calendar process, they're able to identify what is the best time to review PD, knowing the flow of the academic school year, when teachers might need a refresher, when it's appropriate to go ahead and give that time, just come into the building and learn and reset on the topic as well. So the next one is going to be around the Oxford 21 Active Emergency Data Plan. This is something completely new that Oxford wants to pursue for 25, 26, and beyond. So what is it? Again, it's all about giving us flexibility with our time and our calendaring process. We're able to use for MPE 15 days of virtual instruction instead of in-person instruction in case of an emergency. Now, the word emergency here is used by MDE, but it is used very loosely. It can mean a building issue, like there's a pipe that broke down, a pipe that burst, or the electricity went out. It could be about student testing, which is what we're kind of using it for. It could be about additional professional development. So it helps us to shift our instructional mode into a virtual manner in order to continue instruction for our students should anything happen. So how are we planning on using it for 25-26? Really just for our high school testing, for our juniors. So right now, juniors come in for ACT worksheets, they come in for SAT, and 9, 10, and 12 years are just at home, just hanging out. Using this opportunity, we're able to go ahead and provide instruction for those students, for those 9, 10, and 12 grade students, continue the learning, continue interventions, while our 11th graders are in the building to do SAT in a safe, compliant space. So we're only looking to use it for just testing in the high school. I also want to say that it does provide us some emergency flexibility around closures on a case-by-case basis. If there is, for some reason, like I mentioned, a power outage that is taking place a extensive period of time, we're burning through all of our state emergency days. If we wanted to, we can go ahead and posture for a virtual mode as well. So again, all of this is about just flexibility. In your board packet, you actually have a little kind of other document that outlines briefly kind of the benefits to students, the benefits to our programs, what is the law, how we meet the law, so on and so forth. And yes, there are some things that we will have to figure out internally in terms of procedures around technology and proposing instruction with high school and so forth. But again, we have almost a year to work on do that as a team, but we wanted to get it in front of you as soon as possible. Any questions about either the PD as last hour of the day, hey, kids, we have virtual instruction tomorrow. This is something that we want to go ahead and inform our students as soon as possible, give them time to understand that this is a possibility. Go check our website, what that schedule looks like, so that way people are informed, technology procedures are figured out, how to identify if needed for those students, and do that.
All right, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
Moving into item B, we have the bullying survey. Leah?
All right, good evening. Actually, before I get into the bullying survey, I can actually answer the question that you asked Alex about the team. That team is actually our continuing contract committee. That is the team that negotiates the calendar. And so they are deeply entrenched in creating the calendar, safeguarding the calendar for it to be approved and essentially go out to. So it's not necessarily that they're always deciding the topics, it's how they're deciding the flow of the calendar. And so there isn't necessarily a mental health professional on the team just because they're not deciding negotiating the contract. It doesn't mean that we as a team wouldn't decide what professional learning could occur on those days, but that's who makes up the team. They're the people who actually come up with the calendar. So if you hate the calendar, we're those people. If you love the calendar, we're those people. Yes. All right, so I'm going to go into the bully prevention survey. We have received a lot of questions and some concerns around the survey, and so I wanted to take an opportunity to provide some information and background to understand how we provide to where we are. So first, since really the pandemic, bullying has been on the rise, and there have been more studies being done around bullying. And so the CDC released in the last, more recently, a pretty comprehensive survey results around bullying. And so I wanted to highlight a little bit of what the results showed in their findings. And all of this information is on their website under the National Center for Health Statistics. So their findings showed that between July of 21 and December of 23, 34% of teenagers were bullied in the last 12 months. Sexual or gender minority teenagers were more likely to be bullied by 41% more than teenagers who are not a sexual or gender minority. Specifically, LGBTQ+ students are significantly increased risk of depression, suicidal ideation, with nearly more than 1 in 5 attempting suicide in the last year. And then you can see other markers there. White, non-Hispanic teenagers more likely to be bullied compared to teenagers and other race or Hispanic origin groups. That actually is surprising to us. It's almost something that you might experience as the opposite. Teenagers with developmental disabilities, learning disabilities, might fall under the special education umbrella, experience more bullying than teenagers without. And then teenagers who are bullied experience nearly double the symptoms of anxiety and depression. So these data points were really the reason that we felt compelled to check against what does our community show in regards to these. Do we have the same rate in which these types of bullying incidences might be happening with our student body? And so when we worked on our more recent bullying survey, we use these as a marker to check to see, does this match our student experience? And our job is to ensure that none of our students fall into those statistics. We have a legal responsibility to protect students in protected classes, and under the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act, persons with